Trump Force One didn't follow the rules. It broke them with gold everything. Secret rooms were built, laws were bent, and one upgrade cost more than most people make in a lifetime. These are 20 weird things about Trump Force One, and the bonus? Let's just say even Air Force One couldn't compete. Buckle up, this flight gets expensive fast. It cost $100 million. Donald Trump bought his private Boeing 757 back in 2011 for exactly $100 million in cash. He purchased it from Paul Allen, the billionaire co-founder of Microsoft who had owned it before. The plane was already luxury, but Trump wanted to make it even more incredible and over the top. He spent millions more customizing every single inch to match his style and taste. Most billionaires would be happy with a nice private jet, but Trump wanted the biggest and best. The 757 is huge compared to normal private jets that rich people fly. Trump didn't just want to fly. He wanted to make a statement that screamed wealth and power. The plane became a flying symbol of his brand and his lifestyle of extreme luxury. Everything is gold-plated. Almost everything inside Trump Force One is plated with 24-karat gold that shines like jewelry. The seatbelts have gold buckles that cost more than a regular person's car payment. The bathroom faucets and sinks are covered in gold plating that gleams under the lights. Even the toilet and toilet paper holder are gold-plated, making it the fanciest bathroom in the sky. Light fixtures, door handles, armrests, and cup holders all shine with real gold. Trump spent a fortune covering surfaces with gold that didn't need to be gold at all. Interior designers estimated the gold alone added several $1 million to the renovation costs. Critics called it tacky and excessive, but Trump loved the flashy look. He wanted everyone to know this wasn't just any plane, it was his golden palace in the clouds. The gold plating added significant weight to the plane, requiring more fuel to fly the same distance. The bedroom has a secret door. The master bedroom in the back has a secret door that leads to a private room. Trump installed it during renovations to have a place completely away from everyone else on board. The door is hidden and blends into the wood paneling so guests can't see it easily. Inside the secret room, there's space for private meetings or just getting away from staff and family. The bedroom itself has a massive king-size bed bigger than most hotel beds. The mattress was custom made with special materials for comfort at high altitude. Silk sheets and expensive pillows make it feel like a five-star hotel suite. The walls are covered in cream-colored leather that costs thousands of dollars per panel. Trump could fly across the country and sleep as comfortably as in his own home in Trump Tower. And the shower is solid gold. The private bathroom has a full shower covered entirely in gold plating from floor to ceiling. It's one of the only private planes in the world with a real working shower on board. Most private jets don't have showers because they're too heavy and use too much water. Trump didn't care about the weight or the cost. He wanted to shower at 40,000 feet. The shower head is gold plated and probably cost more than most people's entire bathrooms. Special water tanks hold enough for several showers during long flights across the country. The drainage system was custom engineered to work properly at high altitude. Trump could take a hot shower while flying over the Rocky Mountains at 500 miles per hour. It's the kind of luxury that most people can't even imagine having in a plane. Carries 43 passengers. Normally, the Boeing 757 can normally carry 200 passengers when it's set up like a regular airline. Trump's version only has seats for 43 people maximum because of all the extra rooms. He sacrificed passenger capacity for massive amounts of luxury and personal space. The main cabin has oversized leather recliners that cost thousands of dollars each. Each seat has more legroom than first class on any commercial airline in the world. There's a large dining area with a fancy table for meetings or eating expensive meals. The galley kitchen is fully stocked with whatever food and drinks Trump wants. Flight attendants prepare fresh meals during the flight using restaurant quality equipment. Trump often flew with family, staff, and security guards who filled most of the seats. The engines are Rolls-Royce. Trump Force One is powered by two massive Rolls-Royce RB211 engines under the wings. Each engine produces 43,500 pounds of thrust, enough to push the heavy plane through the air. Rolls-Royce engines are known for being incredibly reliable and powerful, but also expensive. Maintaining these engines costs hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. They need special inspections after a certain number of flight hours by certified mechanics. The engines burn through thousands of gallons of jet fuel fuel on long trips. Trump had to pay for fuel, which cost tens of thousands of dollars per flight. The Rolls-Royce name matched Trump's luxury brand perfectly in his mind. He loved telling people his plane had Rolls-Royce engines, just like an expensive car. The engines are so powerful the plane can take off from shorter runways than similar jets. It has a theater room. There's a full movie theater room inside with a massive flat-screen television on the wall. Trump installed comfortable theater-style seating with recliners for watching movies and TV shows. The sound system rivals actual movie theaters with surround sound speakers everywhere. Trump could watch his favorite shows or his own TV appearances during flights. The entertainment system has hundreds of movies, TV shows, and music stored digitally. He reportedly watched a lot of news coverage about himself on the big screen. The theater room has special lighting that dims for the perfect viewing experience. Friends and family could join him for private movie screenings at 40,000 feet. The room is soundproofed so the engines don't interrupt the audio experience. It's like having a private cinema that flies across the country. Cost $10,000 per hour to operate. Operating Trump Force One cost approximately $10,000 for every single hour it flew. That includes fuel, crew salaries, maintenance, insurance, and hangar fees at airports. A flight from New York to Florida cost around $15,000 just in operating expenses. Trump flew the plane constantly during his 2016 presidential campaign across America. He racked up millions of dollars in operating costs flying to rallies and events. The campaign paid for the flights, but Trump's company owned the plane. Critics said he was basically paying himself with campaign money for using his own plane. After becoming president, the plane sat unused because he flew on Air Force One. Instead, when parked, the plane still cost money for storage, insurance, and maintenance. Keeping a 757 ready to fly is incredibly expensive even when it's not in the air. The tail number is N757AF. The official tail number painted on the plane is N757AF, which is registered with the FAA. The 757 obviously refers to the Boeing 757 model of the aircraft. The AF at the end stands for Air Force in Trump's mind, like Air Force One. It's a cheeky reference to the president's plane, even though it's not official. Trump loved the connection and the implication that his plane was just as good. The tail also has a huge Trump painted in giant letters visible from far away. The American flag is painted on the tail along with the name in gold lettering. You can't miss this plane when it's parked at any airport in the country. The tail design became instantly recognizable during the campaign and election. Flight trackers online could follow the plane's movements using the tail number. Banned from some airports. Trump Force One is too big to land at many smaller airports across America. The Boeing 757 needs long runways of at least 5,000 feet to land safely. Many regional airports don't have runways long enough for the massive plane. Trump had to carefully plan trips to cities with airports that could handle it. Sometimes he had to land at a major airport and drive hours to campaign events. The plane also weighs too much for some airport runways that aren't built for heavy jets. Airport operators worried the weight would damage their pavement and runways. Trump sometimes had to use smaller planes or helicopters for certain trips. The size that made the plane impressive also made it impractical for many destinations. Being too big caused logistical headaches that smaller jets don't have at all. Grounded for years. After Trump became president in January 2017, the plane sat unused for 4 years. It was parked at Stewart International Airport in New York collecting dust. Trump flew on Air Force One instead as president, so he didn't need his personal plane. The plane sat outside in the weather, getting dirty and worn from lack of use. Maintenance was minimal during those years to save money while it wasn't flying. By 2021, the plane needed serious repairs and renovations to fly again safely. The engines needed overhauls after sitting idle for so long without running. Tires went flat and needed replacement. Interior cleaning and updates were necessary. Paint on the outside faded and needed a fresh coat. Getting it airworthy again cost millions of dollars in repairs and inspections. The Trump family crest is inside. The Trump family crest is embroidered on pillows, blankets, and seats throughout the cabin. The crest features a shield, a knight's helmet, and the Trump name in fancy lettering. Trump had it placed on as many surfaces as possible to brand everything. Napkins in the dining area have the crest printed on them in gold ink. Even the china plates for serving food have the family crest on the edges. images. Trump wanted everyone to know whose plane they were on at all times. The crest appears on leather headrests, wall panels, and even the carpet in some areas. Interior designers incorporated it into the overall gold and cream color scheme. It's excessive branding taken to the absolute extreme level. Some guests found it over the top, but Trump loved seeing his name and crest everywhere. Has its own security team. Trump Force One required its own private security team to protect it on the ground. When parked at airports, security guards watched it 24 hours a day. The team checked anyone who approached the plane for maintenance or cleaning. They worried about sabotage, theft, or people sneaking on board. The plane contained expensive items that could be stolen if left unguarded. Security cameras monitored the exterior and the stairs leading inside. Guards did sweeps of the interior before Trump boarded for flights. The security team traveled with the plane to every destination. They coordinated with local airport security but maintained their own protocols. Protecting the plane and its owner required constant vigilance and careful planning. The security costs added thousands more to each trip's total expenses. The logo changed over time. The original Trump logo on the plane was smaller and more subtle. Over the years, Trump made it bigger and bolder with each paint job. By 2016, Trump was written in huge gold letters impossible to miss. The American flag was added to make it look more patriotic during the campaign. Trump tweeted photos of the plane constantly to show it off to millions. The exterior paint scheme went through several versions and updates. Early photos show a more modest design compared to the final version. Trump believed bigger branding meant better marketing for his image. The plane became a flying billboard for his name and his campaign. The massive letters could be seen clearly from the ground when flying overhead. Melania helped design it. Melania Trump reportedly helped design parts of the interior during renovations. She picked out fabrics, colors, and some of the furniture for the cabin. Melania's taste influenced the cream and gold color scheme throughout. She wanted it to feel elegant and not too masculine despite the gold everywhere. The master bedroom design reflected her input on comfort and style. She chose softer touches like silk pillows and fine linens for the bed. Melania's European background influenced some of the design choices. She worked with interior designers to create a cohesive luxury look. Trump let her have creative control over certain areas of the plane. The result was a blend of his bold gold style and her refined elegance. It appeared in Home Alone. Trump Force One made a brief appearance in the movie Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. Actually, it was Trump himself who appeared, not the plane in that scene, but Trump's properties and style were featured in the movie from 1992. He's always loved appearing in movies and TV shows as himself. The plane became famous later during his political career in the 2000s and 2010s. Trump used the plane as a prop in his reality TV show, The Apprentice. Cameras filmed contestants boarding and flying on the luxurious jet. The plane became part of his celebrity image and brand. It represented success, wealth, and the lifestyle he promoted. The plane was essentially a character in the story of Trump's public persona. Burned 500 gallons per hour. Trump Force One burned approximately 500 gallons of jet fuel every single hour in the air. That's more fuel than most people use in their cars in an entire year. Jet fuel costs between $3 and $5 per gallon depending on the airport. A single hour of flight time used $2,000 to $2,500 worth of fuel alone. A 5-hour flight from New York to Los Angeles burned over 2,500 gallons total. The fuel costs were one of the biggest operating expenses for the plane. The heavy weight from all the gold and luxury features made it burn even more. The Rolls-Royce engines were powerful, but not the most fuel efficient available. Trump didn't seem to care about the cost. He wanted the performance and power. Environmental critics pointed out the massive carbon footprint of flying the plane. Had a full-time pilot. Trump employed a full-time personal pilot to fly Trump Force One whenever needed. The pilot's salary was reportedly over $200,000 per year, plus benefits. The pilot had to maintain special certifications for flying the Boeing 757. He needed thousands of hours of flight experience to qualify for the position. The pilot lived near where the plane was based for quick response. Trump demanded the plane be ready to fly on short notice for business trips. The pilot coordinated with co-pilots, flight attendants, and maintenance crews. He was responsible for flight planning, weather checks, and safety inspections. The pilot became a trusted member of Trump's inner circle over the years. Flying for Trump meant being available almost 24/7 for sudden travel plans. Worth less after years of use. Trump Force One lost significant value after years of use and sitting idle. The plane was worth about $100 million when purchased in 2011. By 2021, estimates put the value around $10 to $20 million maximum. Aircraft depreciate quickly, especially when not maintained perfectly. The custom Trump interior actually decreased the value for potential buyers. Most buyers would rip out all the gold and redo the interior themselves. The engines needed expensive overhauls after sitting unused for 4 years. The airframe had aged and accumulated flight hours that reduced its worth. Trump would take a massive financial loss if he tried to sell it. The plane was more valuable to him personally than on the open market. It was a money pit that cost far more to own than it was worth. Returned to service in 2021. After Trump left the White House in January of that year, the plane had been sitting mostly unused at Stewart International Airport in New York for the entire 4 years of his presidency. During that time, it had deteriorated significantly from lack of use and exposure to harsh weather conditions. The plane underwent millions of dollars in extensive repairs and complete updates to make it airworthy and safe to fly again. Mechanics had to replace both Rolls-Royce engines because they had been sitting idle for so long without proper maintenance. The engines alone cost several $millions to overhaul and reinstall on the wings, outdated navigation systems, communication equipment, and safety features to meet current aviation standards. Years of neglect had taken a serious toll on both the exterior and interior of the luxury jet. Trump completely repainted the exterior with fresh glossy paint and updated his logos to look even bigger and bolder than before. The new paint job cost hundreds of thousands of dollars and took weeks to complete properly. He made sure the giant Trump letters were perfectly visible from every angle on the ground and in the air. The American flag on the tail was repainted with brighter, more vibrant colors that stood out dramatically. Workers polished and cleaned every inch of the fuselage until it gleamed like new in the sunlight. Inside the cabin, crews deep cleaned the gold fixtures, leather seats, and carpets that had collected dust for years. They replaced worn fabrics, updated entertainment systems, and made sure every luxury feature worked perfectly again. The restoration project took several months and required teams of specialized aircraft mechanics and interior designers working around the clock. Trump wanted to use the plane for political rallies and potential future campaigns across the country. He needed a dramatic way to arrive at events that would generate media attention and excitement. The plane's return was strategically announced on social media, with carefully staged dramatic photos showing the gleaming jet. Trump personally posted multiple videos of the plane being repaired in the hangar, with mechanics working on engines and systems. He narrated some videos himself, explaining how beautiful and powerful the plane would be when finished. His supporters flooded the comments with excitement and cheered that the iconic plane was flying again after so long. They saw it as a symbol that Trump was coming back stronger than ever before. The plane made its first official post-presidency flight in late 2021 to a political rally in a southern state. Thousands of supporters lined up outside the airport fence to watch it land with Trump on board. The moment was captured by dozens of cameras and broadcast live on conservative news networks. Trump emerged from the plane at the top of the Golden Stairs, waving to the massive crowd below. It was a carefully choreographed moment designed to show his return to political power and influence. The plane became an instant symbol of Trump's return to public political life and his refusal to fade away. It represented his intention to remain a major force in Republican politics and American culture. Every time the plane landed at a rally, it generated headlines and social media buzz for days afterward. The sight of Trump Force One parking at small airports became a regular feature of his post-presidency rallies. Bonus fact, it almost didn't get Trump's name. When Trump first bought the plane from Paul Allen, the Microsoft billionaire, back in 2011, he actually considered using other names instead. He sat in meetings with advisors and marketing people discussing what to call his new flying palace. He thought seriously about calling it Trump One or the Trump Jet as the official name painted on the side. Some advisors suggested more subtle names that wouldn't be so obviously about self-promotion and ego. He briefly considered not putting his name on it at all for privacy reasons and keeping a lower profile. That idea lasted about 5 minutes in his mind before he completely rejected it as ridiculous. Trump couldn't resist the incredible branding opportunity and massive marketing value of having his name in huge letters. He wanted absolutely everyone who saw the plane to know it was his from miles away on the ground. ground. The decision to go big with his name in giant gold letters became a defining feature of the plane's identity. He didn't just want his name visible, he wanted it to dominate the entire side of the fuselage. The letters were made as large as physically possible without looking completely absurd to aviation authorities. Trump personally approved the size, font, and color of every letter painted on the exterior. He spent hours looking at mock-ups and designs until it was exactly how he envisioned it. The Trump Force. One nickname actually came later from the media and his political supporters during the campaign. Reporters started calling it that because it rivaled Air Force One in luxury and size. Trump absolutely loved the nickname because it directly compared him to the President of the United States. He embraced the comparison and started using Trump Force One himself in speeches and interviews. He would tell crowds that his plane was actually nicer than Air Force One in many ways. The name stuck and became part of American political culture and everyday conversation about Trump. People who had never seen the plane still knew exactly what Trump Force One meant instantly. The nickname appeared in countless news articles, TV segments, and social media posts over the years. It became as famous as Trump Tower, Mar-a-Lago, and his other branded properties around the world. The plane's name proved that Trump would never miss a single chance to promote his brand. Even when advisors suggested being more modest, he always chose the biggest and boldest option available. The name became synonymous with his personality. Big, bold, impossible to ignore, and always about Trump himself. From solid gold showers to secret bedrooms, Trump Force One proved that too much is never enough when you're a billionaire with unlimited confidence. This flying palace completely changed how we think about private jets and luxury in the sky forever. The plane became more than just transportation. It became a symbol of wealth, power, and American excess taken to the absolute extreme. Every gold-plated surface and custom feature told a story about one man's vision of success and luxury. Whether you love it or hate it, you can't deny that Trump Force One is one of the most famous private planes ever to fly through American skies. It carried a businessman to the presidency and became an icon of modern political theater and spectacle. If you learned something crazy today about the most expensive and controversial plane in politics, hit that like button right now and subscribe for more incredible facts that'll make your jaw drop to the floor. We've got tons more wild stories about planes, politics, and the rich and famous coming your way.